Hi, I'm Cassie Villela, and today we're going to talk about two $20 tools that could save you thousands of dollars. I am not even over exaggerating. The first is a water meter key, and the second is this little water alarm. So follow me to find out how we use these to save you money. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is this little water alarm. So I get these on Amazon. It actually comes 3 in a box for $20, $19.99. So actually it's less than $7 for one of these bad boys. And here's how it's gonna save you lots of money. So it's inevitable that at some point your air conditioner or your water heater, one of your appliances is going to leak. Now this AC unit, we would really be in a bad place if it leaked, because not only is it here on this carpeted hallway, so if it leaked like in the middle of the night, we might wake up to a super wet hallway, super wet carpet everywhere. That would be miserable. But we're actually on the second floor here, so if it leaks and we don't catch it, it could go down and leak through the stories and then actually leak on the ceiling of the first floor. That happens all the time, so much. If you live in a home that has the AC unit up in the attic, that happens all the time. So here's a way to prevent that. This little unit, all it does is if it gets wet at all, it makes a really loud alarm, really loud. So literally, I mean, it has this little thing where you can like suction cup it on something. I don't, I just throw it down here, just beside the unit. That way, you know, if it starts leaking here, these are where it's normally going to leak, these pipes. If it starts leaking down, this is the first thing that's going to get wet. You can also do this on water heaters. Water heaters are bad because they're normally in like the garage or somewhere. They're normally in a place that you don't really, you know, it's out of the way. But that also means that if it starts leaking, it could flood your whole garage before you even notice. So in a water heater, they normally have a pan underneath the water heater. You can just throw it into that pan. Then if it ever gets wet, it'll beep. One thing, if you are a landlord, then you want to put these on your properties, because tenants are pretty notorious for not noticing when something is leaking, but they will call you, and ask me how I know, they will call you if there's a really loud alarm coming from the closet. So this is a great idea, will save you lots of money on water damage. Let's move on to the next one. Now the second tool you're going to need is your water key. And so to use this tool effectively, first we need to learn where the water meter is. So if you'll come out your front door and walk around your yard, you're usually going to look close to the curb. So right at the front of your yard. If you have an alleyway, it may be back in the alleyway. But here, in most cases in San Antonio, it's gonna be at the curb. So I turn the camera around so you can see. So you can see kind of here is my driveway. And I just went along the curb until I found this. So this is an iron oval, and it'll say water on it. Sometimes this is buried. You may have to push some leaves and grass out of the way to find it. It's usually on the property line up against the curb. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is put your finger in this little hole and pull the circle off. Be careful at this point, because a lot of times people find snakes, especially coral snakes, like to hide in here. I've already checked if there weren't any snakes. And then once you get that off, you're gonna wanna take the big portion off too. So you'll see down here, this is the water meter. This is what SAWS comes out and checks to see how much water you've been using. And then this is your water main cutoff. It's this little tiny, it's about the size of a 50-cent piece, and you have to turn it. Now, this sucker's hard to turn. You cannot turn it with your hands. And getting a wrench in here would be awkward and difficult with this thing in the way. So that's why we have this key. You can see that the key has just a real simple U shape that is going to fit right on top of that. So by turning that, and it's pretty easy with that little tool, you'll spin this hole around to this side. If these two holes line up, then the water is fully off, okay? If they are opposite from each other, it's on. Now, one way you can make sure it's off is by making sure that this little triangle is not spinning. If that is not spinning, when one of your fixtures is on, the water is off right here at the meter. So I hope that was helpful. I'll link both of these tools in the description of this video. This tool is also about $20. You can order it off Amazon or get it in most big box stores. This is definitely something you want to practice beforehand. You want to find and locate your water meter, you want to buy one of these bad boys, and you want to practice turning your water off. That way, if you're unlucky enough to experience a leak and you've got water gushing out onto your floors, ruining your ceilings, ruining everything, you have the peace of mind to grab your tool, run out here, turn the water off, and save yourself thousands of dollars. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Tell me your horrible plumbing stories, or tell me any other tips you have or questions that you want me to make videos about.